What can we do? We've been a little bit lazy.
I was in chronic pain, and my family struggling to make ends meet, food and gas prices going up, even keeping my job was iffy. Then I learned about a new miracle drug made in Washington, D.C., Spenditol. Spenditol is Washington's answer to all the painful problems Americans face. How to borrow $800 billion for a stimulus that didn't create jobs or fix the economy? Spenditol.
Spenditol is not for everyone. Side effects may include a mountain of government debt piled on our kids, a sudden loss of freedoms, higher prices for everything, leaving our kids a lesser America than we had. Ask your doctor or congressman if your conscience is strong enough for Spenditol.
And it's so popular in Washington, we have to import trillions more of it from China. Spenditol makes you feel better now and pushes off the really bad stuff till later, for them to deal with.
Call the White House and Congress. Tell them, stop spending it all.
Feeling lonely this holiday season? Looking for a little human interaction? Do you want to feel contact in certain special places?
Then why not go through security at an airport?
The TSA.
TSA agents are ready and standing by to give you a little something extra to feel thankful about this holiday season.
The TSA.
What are you waiting for? I want to check under your testicles.
Spending time with a TSA agent couldn't be easier. Simply book a flight departing from any American airport. When selected for a full body scanner, say no. You'll be pulled aside by a TSA agent, and that's when the fun begins. And you never know who your agent will be.
It could be me. Or me. Or even me.
But it's probably gonna be us. Take off your damn shoe.
The TSA. It's our business to touch yours.
Welcome to the Bureau of Womanhood Conformity. Independent thoughts are considered subversive because all must agree with our leader.
When it comes to women, preventative care should include coverage of contraceptive services such as birth control.
You see, if you don't believe government should pay for your birth control, you're not a real woman. Womanhood denied. If you refuse to accept that pregnancy is a punishment, you're denied as well.
I don't want them punished with a baby.
If you don't believe that abortions should be allowed for any reason, if you don't believe in aborting a child for being the wrong gender, and if you don't believe that stay-at-home mothers aren't real workers, you are not a real conformed woman.
His wife has actually never worked a day in her life. His wife has actually never worked a day in her life.
Finally, for your safety, if you oppose mandatory government health care, you will die.
They will be voting to say that women can die on the floor.
These standards and regulations were formed after our glorious victory in the war on women. Thank you for your cooperation and your conformity.
Governor Romney's argument is, we're not fixed, so fire him and put me in.
If I was in his shoes, I'd be making the same argument.
It is true, we're not fixed.
We know we're not there yet. We're not where we want to be.
Too many of our friends and family are still out there looking for work.
I don't think anybody would say that we're where we want to be.
The housing market's still weak. Deficits are still too high. Are we satisfied? Of course not. They shouldn't feel satisfied.
There's still a lot of people in trouble.
Are we where we want to be today? No.
Here's the thing. A lot of people are still hurting out there.
But that's not good enough.
That's not good enough.
It's certainly not enough.
We know it's not good enough.
I always believed this was a long-term project. It's going to take more than a year. It's going to take more than 2 years. It's going to take more than one term. Probably takes more than one president. If I don't have this done in 3 years, then there's going to be a one-term proposition.
I always loved watching the kids play basketball. I still do, even though things have changed. It's funny, they can't find jobs to get their careers started. And I can't afford to retire. And now we're all living together again. I supported President Obama because he spoke so beautifully. He promised change, but things changed for the worse. Obama started spending like our credit cards have no limit. His healthcare law made health insurance even more expensive. We've had stimulus and bailouts. Obama added almost $16,000 in debt for every American. How will my kids pay that off when they can't even find jobs? Now Obama wants more spending and taxes. That won't fix things. I had so many hopes. Cutting taxes and debt and creating jobs. That's the change we need. Tell President Obama to cut the job-killing debt and support the New Majority Agenda at newmajorityagenda.org.
Is the economy getting you down? Are you looking for something to keep the kids busy while you wait in that long unemployment line? Introducing Wacko Toys' newest innovation, the Nancy Pelosi Halloween Party Pack. You'll be the envy of your collective as you invite 434 of your closest comrades over to celebrate a decidedly non-religious, secularized pagan festival to the evil undead, otherwise known as a Pelosi family reunion.
Hey kids, Wacko Toys has done it again. Check it out.
You have got to be kidding.
Ew, that looks spooky.
That's right. The Nancy Pelosi Halloween Party Pack comes complete with an oversized gavel, a do-it-yourself home Botox kit, scalpel, and surgical suture kit to really get those jowls pinned back. Plus, if you act in the next 2,140 seconds, we'll throw in the communist candy redistribution system. Just imagine the looks on those snotty rich kids' faces when your candy redistributor rips open their designer trick-or-treat bags and doles out their Skittles and Snickers bars to the more deserving kids. You know, the ones from the other side of town, cruising the nice neighborhoods in search of the really good candy.
Come on, kids. Let's set it up.
Hey, that's our candy.
Mommy, make it stop.
The Nancy Pelosi Halloween Party Pack available for only a limited time. Supplies not expected to last beyond November 2nd. Please do not subject the Nancy Pelosi costume to water and keep away from falling houses. Some boxes may not include all the listed items. You must purchase the party pack to find out what's in it.
You're listening to The Rod Eccles Show.
Bow! Bow! Boom! And we are back, folks. We are back here on The Rod Eccles Show. I am your lovable host, the lovable L. Rod, coming to you live from my bunkerized home studio. It looks like Fox News is projecting that Indiana and Kentucky are going to meet. But it isn't out of the, it's not unexpected, as well as Town Hall, Politico is also predicting and saying that West Virginia is going to meet. Again, not unexpected so far. However, we're still looking at 0.7% of the precincts here in my state, and the polls closed a little over a half hour ago. That Obama is still up slightly in New Hampshire, but we will see how that goes. I'm interested to see how my other races are going for Congress, and there's no Senate races in New Hampshire this year. It's next year. Yeah, next year and the year after we have some Senate races, but the governorship is up for bid this time around. Good to see who our next would be good to see who our next governor is going to be here, and as well as in your states. Now, if you look at an electoral map of the United States, there's a lot of property, real physical property, that is red. Now, don't misunderstand why Republicans are called, red staters and Democrats are blue staters. That's on purpose, folks. Because what were Republicans doing to communist pinko, the Reds? What are you, red? So it's quite plain why Republic, when they started to say, making up blue states and red states and that type of thing, why they gave Republicans, because they didn't want the connotation. The Democrats, red states, red, communist. They didn't want that. Trust me on that, folks. They did not want that comparison. They really didn't. So we are seeing some polls are closing or have closed. There are some polls that there was a poll, and I can't roll elections that closed at 7:30. It's an odd time, but they will be rolling in. The decisions will be rolling in as at some point we're actually going to get smart as a nation and figure out how to do voting with less than 1% fraud. We can do it. And it doesn't need to be all computerized either. We can do it. But the reason why we don't do certain things is because both sides, Republicans as well as Democrats, but mostly Democrats, don't want they want the ability to be able to cheat or to say that there was cheating going on. They don't want, it's plain and clear as day. So unless your election results are 1% or less difference, it doesn't matter. But they like this very possible variation. But the slate has, speaking of slight variation, and speaking of being red and blue, the slate has a story, has a piece that I find absolutely shocking. In this day and age, I thought we were post-racial, post-barbaric, post all this other stuff. And here's what the slate has to say. In its title piece by Tom Scocca, Scocca, the subtitle is Parsing the Narrow Tribal Appeal of the Republican Nominee. Tribal? Well, here's the main title. Why do white people think Mitt Romney should be president? Folks, I'm not making this up. And the writer, Tom Scocca, I guess he can ask the question because he's an ultra-blonde, blue-haired, fair-skinned white guy. But I was incredulous when I saw that. Are you kidding me? And this is on the slate, slate.com. You will find links to all this stuff on rodeccles.com after the show is ended. It takes about an hour. So sometime at around 10 p.m. this evening, we'll also try to put, updated stuff on the vote. But here's the story. He says, now understand, Tom Scocca, again, Scocca, is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, fair-skinned white guy. I'm voting for Barack Obama on Election Day. He's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, fair-skinned white guy who's asking the question, why do white people think that another white guy should be president? Isn't the fair thing to do is to have a black president? Or an other than white president? Why do white people think that only white people can be president? And that's not the case anymore, folks. We know that's not the case.